Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're getting a little unconventional, a little subterranean, you might say.
Oh, going underground, are we?
Yeah, literally. We're digging into the world of luxury homes, but not the kind you might picture. These are built inside abandoned mines.
Fascinating. I've been following this trend for a while now. It's definitely gaining momentum.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I thought, who would want to live underground? But then I started doing some research, and well, it's pretty amazing what they're doing.
There are a lot of misconceptions surrounding it. I think once people understand the benefits, it becomes a lot more appealing.
Absolutely. So let's start with the big one, climate resilience. We all know extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, more intense.
Right, and this is where underground homes really have an edge. Think about it.
Hmm.
Natural insulation, protection from the elements, a stable temperature year-round.
Yeah, you're basically immune to heat waves and cold snaps. And not just that, right? Underground homes are incredibly strong, resilient to things like hurricanes, even earthquakes.
Exactly. The Earth itself becomes a shield. It's like having a natural bunker, but one that's also designed for luxurious living. And if we consider the long-term impacts of climate change, like rising sea levels, well, an inland, elevated underground home starts to look pretty attractive.
I mean, it's like peace of mind built into the structure itself. And speaking of peace of mind, let's talk energy efficiency. Because who doesn't love saving money on their energy bills?
Oh, this is one of the biggest advantages. The Earth acts as a giant insulator, naturally keeping the temperature stable, so you need far less energy for heating and cooling.
Huh?
So we're talking about significant reductions. Some studies suggest up to 80% compared to conventional homes.
80%. That's incredible. And it's not just about the financial benefits, right? It's about reducing our carbon footprint, living more sustainably.
Absolutely. And when you combine that natural insulation with technology like geothermal heating and cooling, the possibilities are really exciting.
Now, for those who might not be familiar, can you break down how geothermal works?
Sure. Imagine harnessing the Earth's constant temperature to heat and cool your home. Basically, a geothermal system uses a network of underground pipes to circulate fluid. This fluid absorbs heat from the Earth in the winter and releases excess heat into the ground in the summer.
So it's like having a natural, renewable energy source right beneath your feet.
Exactly. And when you pair that with solar panels, rainwater harvesting, you can create a truly self-sufficient, eco-friendly home.
Now, we've talked about climate resilience, energy efficiency, but there's another aspect I find fascinating, the inherent security of living underground.
That's a big one for a lot of people. It's primal, isn't it? That need to feel safe and secure in our homes.
Yeah, and while no home is completely impenetrable, an underground structure offers a unique level of protection.
Right. You're shielded from the elements, from potential threats. We're talking about wildfires, earthquakes, even, unfortunately, societal unrest. It's about having peace of mind in a world that can feel increasingly uncertain.
It's like going back to our roots in a way, finding shelter in the very ground beneath us. But let's talk more about that sustainable living aspect. We've touched on energy efficiency, but what other possibilities are there?
Well, imagine an underground home that's not just energy efficient, but also generates its own power. Solar panels integrated into the landscape above, maybe a small wind turbine. You're creating a closed-loop system, minimizing reliance on external resources.
And what about water? I'm always looking for ways to be more water-wise.
Absolutely. Rainwater harvesting systems can collect and store rainwater for various uses, reducing dependence on municipal water supplies. And then there are advanced water recycling technologies. Think about it. You're creating a truly self-sustaining ecosystem, minimizing waste.
It's amazing what they're doing. Now, I know it can't all be sunshine and roses. What are some of the challenges that come with underground living?
Well, the first thing that springs to mind is structural stability. Before you even think about converting a mine, you need a thorough geological survey. You need to be sure the space is safe, structurally sound, and free of any potential hazards.
So this isn't a DIY project, right? We're talking about expert assessments, careful planning.
Exactly, safety first. And then there's the matter of ventilation and air quality. Living underground requires advanced systems to ensure a constant flow of fresh air and to control humidity levels. It's not just about comfort, it's about health.
Right, we're not talking about stuffy, damp caves here. These are technologically advanced spaces designed for optimal living.
Precisely. And then there's the cost. Let's be real, converting a mine into a luxury home isn't cheap. The initial investment can be significant, especially compared to traditional construction.
That's true. It's important to weigh those upfront costs against the long-term benefits. The savings on energy and maintenance could be substantial.
Exactly. It's about taking a long-term perspective, investing in a sustainable and secure future.
All right, we've covered some of the practical considerations. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Design and lifestyle, because this isn't about roughing it underground, right? We're talking luxury.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The design possibilities are incredibly exciting. Imagine open spaces, natural light pouring in from skylights, sustainable materials, cutting-edge technology.
It's like blending modern aesthetics with the unique character of an underground environment.
And don't forget about smart home integration. Control everything from lighting and temperature to security systems, all designed for maximum comfort and convenience.
Okay, you have me at smart home. But I think what sets these homes apart is their uniqueness. It's not just about living underground, it's about creating a space that's truly one of a kind, personal.
It's about pushing boundaries, challenging conventions, and for those who are drawn to the extraordinary, the possibilities are limitless.
Okay, so let's ground this a bit with some real-world examples. Our research highlighted two projects that I think really showcase what's possible.
I'm all ears. I always love seeing these concepts in action.
First up, we have the underground house in New Zealand. This one's built into an abandoned limestone mine on the South Island.
Oh, I've read about that one. It's a great example of using the natural insulation of the mine to create a comfortable living environment. And they've done some incredible things with skylights, bringing in natural light.
Yeah, it makes the space so bright and inviting. Now, for our second example, let's jump across the globe to Pennsylvania, where we have the EcoMine home.
Ah, yes. This one's all about sustainability, right?
Big time. It's a converted coal mine, but they've incorporated geothermal heating and cooling, advanced water recycling, even on-site renewable energy generation.
It's amazing what they've done, taking a site associated with environmental degradation and turning it into a model of eco-conscious design.
Yeah, it's like a phoenix rising from the ashes, but instead of ashes, it's an old mine shaft, and the phoenix is a sustainable home.
What I find particularly inspiring about that project is the commitment to resource management. They've really thought about every aspect, from energy and water to waste reduction.
So we've gone from climate resilience and energy efficiency to security, sustainability, and now we're seeing these concepts come to life in these incredible projects. But there's so much more to explore.
We've just scratched the surface.
And that's what makes this deep dive so exciting, right? It's not just about looking at what is, it's about imagining what could be.
Exactly. It's about challenging our assumptions about housing, about lifestyle, about our relationship with the environment. So those real-world examples we were talking about,
Yeah.
they really showcase the potential of this whole underground living thing, like that underground house in New Zealand, the one built in that old limestone mine. What makes it so unique?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, besides being super energy efficient because of those thick limestone walls, it's just so bright. They've got these huge skylights that just flood the place with sunlight.
Yeah, that's one thing people always get wrong. They think underground living means no natural light. But with the right design, you can have all the sunshine you want.
It's not just about making it look nice either, right? Natural light, it affects how you feel, how you sleep.
Definitely. It's about connecting with nature, even when you're living underground. It's called biophilic design. It's becoming really popular.
I love that idea. Bringing the outdoors in, but in a whole new way.
Now that EcoMine home in Pennsylvania, that's a different story. It's all about being self-sufficient, super sustainable.
Oh, they went all out with that one. Geothermal heating and cooling, water recycling, they even compost their food waste.
It's a completely different approach. They're thinking about every single resource, how to minimize their impact.
And the fact that they built it in an old coal mine, turning something that was bad for the environment into something good.
It really shows you how we can repurpose these old spaces, make them sustainable.
Like taking something old and making it new again, but in a way that's good for the planet.
And these are just two examples, right? There are so many more projects popping up all over the world. And it's still early days. Imagine what they'll be able to do as technology keeps improving.
I think people are starting to realize how important it is to be resilient, to think about the future, climate change, resource scarcity, all that. And underground living, it offers solutions.
It's a total shift in thinking. For so long, we've been building up, up, up. Maybe it's time to start looking down.
Going back to our roots, literally. But let's be realistic. There are some hurdles to overcome, right? Cost is a big one. What would you say to someone who's interested in this but worried about the price tag?
Well, the initial cost, yeah, it can be higher. But you have to think long term. Energy savings, lower maintenance costs, those add up over time.
So it's an investment, not just an expense. But what about financing? Are there options for people who want to build or buy an underground home?
It's tough, honestly. It's still a pretty niche market.